welcome back to another episode of Casey Builds, where we live on the bleeding edge of so cool. And have I got some coolness for you? Oh, by the way, happy Friday. Come with me. Walk this way. You're going to really enjoy this. I'm just so excited by this because the possibilities are truly endless when you're making stuff. Okay, so we're all into 3D printing. So what I did, and we're going to take the camera, we're going to zoom in as much as we can. So I made what is essentially a 3D printed spacer out of PLA. It's got an OD, an ID, and it's actually got a thread. So I think that's a 3/8 14. And so there's the piece in all its glory. Now, you can only do so much with this because it's plastic. Well, what if it's metal? That exists today. So let's take a look. So there's our piece. So this is really cool. So it's the same piece, same OD, same ID. The surface finish is beautiful, and same thread. I don't know if Naomi, you can get like where you see the thread, but this is absolutely stellar. We're going to be doing a part 2 video where I basically take a bolt and thread that into both pieces, and with some calipers, and I kind of measure it out and show people what the tolerances are. But this is literally, we're literally living the coolest timeline. So I want to show you how I did this. I'm going to show you that on the laptop. So we're actually going to move from the camera to the laptop, and I'm going to walk you through the tools that I've used to create this piece, and also where I got this piece manufactured and in my hands. $9 printed and $1 in shipping. Now I think that was a promotional cost, but that is like so cool. So let's take a look at the laptop. And Naomi has graciously let me use her laptop to do this because her desktop is much cleaner than mine, so that's fantastic. Yay for clean desktop. Okay, so how did I make that spacer? So I've used a lot of digital tools starting from the late 80s into the 90s and into the 2000s. So like many of you watching, you've probably been around for iterations of all this stuff. In about 2001, I started using Inventor. And so that's what I've been using ever since. However, I have branched out into a lot of open source software about the same time. And again, we're going to do a lot of videos of how to build stuff. So I'm going to talk a little bit about all these different tools throughout these videos and a little bit today. Okay, so Inventor, here we go. So this is Inventor 2025, and I'm just going to start a new file, a standard IPT, and I'm going to create that. Again, this is a little bit techy, and I'm not going to go all the way through it, but I just want to show you how easy this program is if you want to create something, because we're about building. And everything is based on a sketch. And so this plane here is like our piece of paper on the table. And then all these sketch tools pop up of all these different things. And we're working in standard right now. And so I can draw a variety of different shapes and whatever sizes, and there's lots of different tools to change and manipulate. And then I can give these a thickness of whatever that is. And that's really the beginning of any kind of modeling and where you're going to get into 3D printing. So that's just the basics. And that is literally like a 10-second crash course, which really doesn't do it justice, but that's what we're doing today. Okay, so the other windows that I have open, when I made that threaded piece, I literally started with a sketch with a circle of a certain size. I extruded that circle. I actually removed the inside piece. And again, there's lots of ways to do this, and I believe I picked the tap drill size for my thread, and then I added a threaded piece. And in Inventor, when you choose all these settings, the threaded piece is actually an image. They're not a coil or they're not threads. So how do you go from that to an actual threaded part with real threads? So what I did is I cheated, because sometimes you cheat when you're building to do it fast because you want to get it done. There's a really cool website here, Cool Orange, threadmodeler.com. This is a company that provides a bunch of digital tools. And basically you upload your part, your IPT, you pick your template, and you process. And it takes that thing with that image, that threaded image, and it creates your part. And so that's exactly what we did. And I'm going to go over to the part after it's processed. So there's the process part. I did actually add the shoulder and the top piece and the recess, but if you actually look inside, you can see that the threads are actually properly modeled. They're actually cut threads in the piece versus the image that you can see here. So it took all that information and generated the coils. And if we actually look in the project tree, you can see the extrusions and the thread that it actually got rid of to put in the pieces of the coil that are actually, when we export in STL, are a real modeled piece. So from there, up to File, Export, CAD format, and then STL. And I always check the options to make sure they're on high and OK. And then that's going to give us our final part that we can go 3D model. So that's really cool. Okay, so how did we go from that on a plastic 3D printer, which most people have access to, and the variety of plastics we have access to today, which is so cool, to a metal one? So now we jump over to JLC PCB. So if you make electronic anything, you know this company very, very well. But did you know that they actually have a 3D printing branch of their company? And so I kind of just stumbled upon this and I'm like, cool, let's play with this. Because the project we were working on previously, we actually needed a metal piece, and I kind of opted to not do that. But now that I know what the costs are and what the abilities are, I will definitely opt for the metal version when it is required. So there's the STL. I'm going to drag that into the window here. Oh, did that work? No, it didn't. Okay, I got to upload, add that file from the desktop and over to my folder. Oh, Dad, isn't that fun? And there's our file, uploading. And here we go. Come on, internet. What are you doing? Let's go. Oh, it's funny, when we're talking about internet speed, everybody remembers dial-up? Well, I do. And even if you have to wait like 3 seconds, you're now like frustrated and getting anxiety. Nobody even remembers when you had to. Oh, somebody picked up the phone. Put it down. Okay, so here we are, JLC 3DP. And again, if you're listening and you want to be a sponsor, by all means, let's get in contact because I love you guys. So there's our threaded piece, and we've got some metal options. Now this is really cool. So when I did that stainless piece 2 weeks ago, this is the only option that existed. And suddenly I go back because I'm just having fun, say, what? Titanium? I can make it out of titanium now? This is amazing. This is so cool. So I got the stainless one. Now we can do the titanium one. And what you're going to notice is the price. So there's the price. Now that's not with shipping included. And they do have a lot of promotional coupons. But there's $8 for the stainless one that you can thread a bolt right into. Or you can go for the titanium option for a whopping $12.39. And what do we got here? So shipping estimate $22, but we also have some coupons, and I find that reduces the price based on if you're a new user or not. So this is ridiculous. We are literally living the coolest timeline where I can create a thing very quickly, and I kind of cheated because I used that website to do some post-processing. And I can have this titanium in my hands. If you've ever worked with titanium, it's so cool. It's very light. It's very strong. It machines like aluminum. It is really neat stuff. So that's the screen time that I wanted to show you this process. And is this accessible to regular people today? And the answer is a resounding yes, and that is unbelievably cool. It opens up so many possibilities for those people that are building stuff. Okay, and so this is the end of the screen portion, and then we're gonna have to say goodbye. I'm so sorry. Awesome. So I hope you enjoyed the screen portion. I know that was a lot of technical stuff, and I move really fast because my brain is constantly on fire. This was the past, and I've done so much plastic fabrication for a variety of things that literally go into service when it makes sense. This is so unbelievably cool, and it is so accessible to essentially all of us. $10 in my hands. Obviously, more complicated parts are going to be a higher cost, but the applications are now endless. Stainless and titanium. Very, very cool. So thank you so much for your time. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and be creative, be kind to one another, and we'll see you next time. We'll be back.